Student, yesterday I explained the third part of the lesson. In that part, I told you about the caring nature of writer's grandmother. Now I am going to explain next part of the lesson. Listen. My grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. Writer saying that his grandmother used to go to the school along with the writer because school was attached to the temple. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer, and the priest of the temple used to teach alphabet and morning prayer to the writer and other children. While the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus, my grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. That is further saying, while the writer and other children who were sitting in rows on the either side of the veranda used to sing morning prayer, used to recite morning prayer or alphabet, his grandmother used to sit inside the temple and read the scriptures and read the holy books. She was a religious lady, that is why she wanted to keep herself busy in reading holy books. When we had both finished, when the writer finished his study and his grandmother finished reading scriptures, holy books, then they used to return to their village home together. This time the village dogs would meet us at the temple door, and the village dogs used to meet them at the temple door. The village dogs used to meet them at the temple door, which were waiting for them for the chapatis. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other. For the chapatis we threw to them, and the village street dogs used to follow the writer and his grandmother up to their home, barking and fighting with each other. In order to wrest chapatis from each other, which writer and his grandmother used to throw at them. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city. Students, as I told you that writer was left behind with his grandmother when writer's parents went to city in order to settle there. And after being settled in the city, writer's parents called writer and his grandmother to the city. That was a turning point in our friendship. Then writer is saying that was a turning point in the writer and turning point in the friendship of the writer and his grandmother. Means their friendship was little bit broken. Although we shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to school with me. Even after living in the same room, writer was living in the same room along with his grandmother. Even after living in the same room, writer's grandmother did not used to go to the school along with the writer. I used to go to an English medium school in a motor bus. Writer's grandmother did not used to go to the school along with the writer because in the city writer was admitted to an English medium school and he started going to school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the streets and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard of the city house. And in the city there were no street dogs. That is why writer's grandmother used to feed crumbs of breads to sparrows in the open house of the city house. Now students, I think you will have understood the lesson very well. The students, I request you to read and write the explanation which I will provide you in written, and I will explain the next part of the lesson tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.